Stop everything. Roman Reigns just faced Bron Breakker in what WWE is calling a dream match, and I am livid. This wasn't a dream match, this was a burial. This was WWE once again sacrificing their future for the sake of protecting a part-timer who doesn't need the win. Bron Breakker is the most legitimate athletic specimen WWE has had in years, a second-generation monster with unlimited potential, and WWE just fed him to Roman Reigns like he was some jobber from Main Event. Are you kidding me right now? This is exactly why WWE can't create new stars. This is exactly why the same 5 guys dominate the main event scene year after year while generational talents like Bron Breakker get their momentum destroyed to make part-timers look strong. If you're not absolutely furious about how this match was booked, if you're okay with seeing one of the brightest young stars in wrestling getting squashed by the establishment, then you're part of the problem that's killing this industry. I'm about to break down every frustrating moment of this match, expose why this booking decision is career-damaging for Breakker, and explain why Roman Reigns vs. Bron Breakker will go down as one of the biggest missed opportunities in modern WWE history. But before I absolutely tear apart this travesty of a match and expose WWE's broken booking philosophy, you need to subscribe to Ring Rumble 1 and smash that notification bell. We're the only channel brave enough to call out WWE when they destroy young talent to protect their golden boys. While other wrestling channels are busy making excuses for terrible booking, we're here telling you the truth about what's really happening. If you're sick of seeing talented wrestlers getting buried, this is your channel. Now let's dive into why Roman Reigns vs. Bron Breakker was an absolute disaster for WWE's future. Let me start by saying this: on paper, Roman Reigns vs. Bron Breakker should have been incredible. You've got the tribal chief, the most dominant champion in modern WWE history, facing off against a genetic freak, a second-generation superstar with the pedigree of the Steiner family running through his veins. This should have been the torch-passing moment. This should have been the match where WWE establishes their next main event star. Instead, what did we get? We got Roman Reigns doing what Roman Reigns always does when WWE needs someone to look strong, dominating a younger talent who desperately needed the rub. From the opening bell, you could see where this match was going. Bron came out with intensity, with fire, with the kind of raw aggression that makes you believe you're watching a future world champion. He hit Roman with power moves that would have finished most mortals. He showed the kind of explosiveness and athleticism that you can't teach. And what happened? Roman absorbed it all, weathered the storm, and then proceeded to systematically dismantle Bron Breakker like he was facing a mid-card nobody instead of WWE's potential future. This is the problem with how WWE books Roman Reigns. They're so obsessed with maintaining his aura, so desperate to keep him looking invincible, that they sacrifice everyone else in the process. Every match becomes the same story. Roman's opponent gets their hope spots, shows some fire, maybe gets a near fall or two, and then Roman wins because of course he wins. Let's talk about what Bron Breakker actually brings to the table and why this match was such a colossal waste of his talent. Bron Breakker is 27 years old. He's in his athletic prime. He's got the size, the strength, the speed, and the intensity that WWE claims they're always looking for. He's the son of Rick Steiner and nephew of Scott Steiner, legitimate wrestling royalty. He was a college football player who could have pursued that career but chose wrestling instead. This man has everything. He's got the look that Vince McMahon would have killed for back in the day. The booking logic here for just 1 second. What did Roman Reigns gain from beating Bron Breakker? Nothing. Roman's already established as the top guy. Roman's already proven he can beat anyone. Roman's legacy is secure. He didn't need this win. But Bron Breakker, a competitive match with Roman, maybe even an upset victory, would have launched him into the stratosphere. It would have instantly made him a main event player. It would have given WWE a new star to build around for the next decade. But WWE doesn't think long-term anymore. They think about this quarter's ratings, this month's numbers, this week's social media engagement. And the easiest way to get those things is to rely on established names doing what they always do. Let me walk you through this match and point out exactly where WWE failed Bron Breakker at every turn. The match started with both guys sizing each other up, which is fine, that's standard main event psychology. But then we got to the meat of the match, and that's where the problem started. Bron hit Roman with a devastating Frankensteiner that should have been a huge moment. The crowd popped for it. The announcers sold it like it was incredible. And then what? Roman kicked out at 2 like it was nothing. No selling the impact, no extended recovery period, just kick out and keep going. This happened over and over throughout the match. Bron would hit a big move, a power slam, a clothesline, a gorilla press, and Roman would either no-sell it completely or recover within seconds. Meanwhile, every single move Roman hit was treated like it was devastating. This is basic booking psychology, and WWE got it wrong. If you want the audience to believe Bron Breakker is a legitimate threat, you have to make his offense look dangerous. You have to make Roman sell for him. You have to create moments where it looks like Bron might actually win. But that's not what happened. Instead, Roman dominated most of the match, Bron got his hope spots, and then the inevitable finish came, Superman punch, spear, 1 2 3. Roman wins, Roman looks strong, and Bron Breakker is left in the ring having gained nothing from this experience. The near falls in this match were particularly insulting. There was one moment where Bron hit a beautiful standing moonsault, showcasing his incredible athleticism, and got a near fall that the crowd bought. For 1 second, people actually believed Bron might win. And then Michael Cole immediately started putting over how Roman has been in this position before, and Roman knows how to survive these moments, which completely killed the drama. Instead of letting the audience believe in the possibility of an upset, commentary immediately reassured everyone that Roman was never in real danger. You know what was really telling about this match? The crowd reaction. The audience wanted to get behind Bron Breakker. Every time he mounted offense, every time he hit a big move, the crowd responded. They were ready to accept him as a main event star. They were ready to believe in his potential. But WWE didn't capitalize on it. Instead of recognizing that organic crowd support and booking Bron to look strong even in defeat, they booked a match where Roman was clearly superior from start to finish. This is what's so frustrating about modern WWE booking, because they're more comfortable protecting Roman Reigns' aura than building the future. The worst part of this entire situation wasn't even the match itself, it was what happened after. After Roman won clean in the middle of the ring, did he show respect to Bron? Did he acknowledge that he'd just faced a legitimate threat? Did WWE book any kind of moment that would have protected Bron in defeat? Nope. Roman just celebrated his victory like it was any other match, and Bron was left selling in the corner like he'd just been through a war that he had no business being in. Where was the post-match handshake? Where was the moment where Roman acknowledges Bron's potential? Where was the story element that would have made this loss feel like a learning experience rather than a burial? WWE had so many options to protect Bron Breakker even with a loss. They could have had Roman struggle more in victory. They could have had Roman show visible relief that the match was over. They could have had commentary emphasize how close Bron came. They could have had a post-match angle where Bron attacks Roman out of frustration, establishing him as a dangerous heel who's going to be a problem going forward. Instead, we got nothing. Just another Roman Reigns victory that reinforces the same tired narrative we've been seeing for years. This isn't the first time WWE has done this, and it won't be the last. Let me remind you of all the other times WWE had a chance to create a new star by having them compete with or beat an established name, and they blew it. Remember when Braun Strowman was the hottest thing in wrestling and WWE had him lose to Brock Lesnar over and over? Remember when Drew McIntyre was gaining momentum and they had him lose to Roman before his big push? Remember when Keith Lee came to the main roster with incredible buzz and they booked him into oblivion? This is a pattern. This is WWE's standard operating procedure. They find talented wrestlers, they build them up to a certain point, and then they sacrifice them to protect the established stars. And the worst part is that it never pays off long-term. Protecting Roman Reigns by having him beat Bron Breakker doesn't create any new value. Roman's already at the ceiling of his drawing power. You're not making him more valuable by having him beat younger talent. But you could create massive value by building up Bron Breakker. You could create a new draw, a new attraction, a new reason for fans to tune in. But WWE is so short-sighted that they can't see past the next quarter's revenue reports. Here's the terrifying part about this match: what does Bron Breakker do now? He just lost clean to Roman Reigns in a match that wasn't even competitive enough to establish him as a future threat to the top guys. Where does he go from here? Does he go back to the midcard? Does he get stuck in meaningless feuds that don't advance his character? Does he become just another guy who had potential but got lost in the shuffle? WWE has a horrible track record with this. Once they've decided you're not ready for the main event, it's almost impossible to break through. Look at how many talented wrestlers are stuck in the midcard right now despite having all the tools to be stars. Bron Breakker needed this match to be booked differently. Roman's booking has become predictable to the point of being boring. We all know he's going to win. We all know his opponents are going to get their hope spots before losing. We all know WWE is never going to book him in a position where he looks vulnerable. And that predictability kills the drama of his matches. When fans know the outcome before the bell rings, why should they invest emotionally? When they know that no matter how good his opponent looks, Roman is going to win anyway, why should they care? The Tribal Chief run was great for a while. It was fresh, it was compelling, it created amazing storylines. But WWE has stretched it out so long and protected Roman so much that it's become stale. And matches like Roman vs. Bron Breakker are the proof. This should have been fresh, this should have been exciting, this should have been unpredictable. But it wasn't, because we all knew Roman was winning from the moment the match was announced. Roman Reigns vs. Bron Breakker was a wasted opportunity of epic proportions. WWE had a chance to create a new star, to build the future, to give fans something fresh and exciting. Instead, they did what they always do, they protected the established name at the expense of the rising star. Bron Breakker deserved better than this. He deserved a match that showcased his incredible athleticism and potential. He deserved booking that made him look like a legitimate threat. He deserved a company that was willing to invest in his future instead of endlessly recycling the same old names. But this is WWE in 2026, terrified of change, addicted to short-term thinking, and utterly incapable of building new stars. And until that changes, we're going to keep seeing talented wrestlers like Bron Breakker getting sacrificed on the altar of Roman Reigns' legacy. This is Ring Rumble 1, and we're done making excuses for WWE's failure to build new stars. Drop your comments below, are you as frustrated as I am with how Bron Breakker was booked? Should he have beaten Roman to create a new main event star? What does WWE need to do differently to actually build the future instead of protecting the past? Let's have a real conversation about this because WWE needs to hear that we're not accepting this anymore. Smash that like button, share this video with every wrestling fan who's tired of predictable booking, and let's make our voices heard. The future of wrestling depends on it.